All right, so I'm trying things a little bit different today. I got a day off, so I'm gonna go do some scouting. But I'm not just scouting today. I'm gonna be going out and checking out this spot as if I just had a day to hunt it and going in blind. So I'm going in and because I still haven't used my new XOP tree stand or sticks, and I wanted to practice using them. It's not extremely cool out today, but it's 77 degrees, which is a lot cooler than it's been recently. I'm in Michigan, and it's kind of the hottest part of the summer right now, and buggiest. But I'm gonna go out, and like I said, I'm gonna just play it as I'm doing a running gun, and I haven't had time to scout this area. So I'm gonna walk in, new XOP Vanish tree stand and XOP sticks, which I haven't, again, tried to use yet. I'm gonna carry those in, gonna scout it as I go. I'm gonna do the approach as if I was trying to not alert any deer. It's just gonna be a whole thing. And I think it's great practice for when the season comes around, which is only a couple months away. And it's gonna be here before we know it. So I'm gonna go in there, find a good tree, hang a set, and trim it out. And then hopefully that'll be a great set for when hunting season comes around. So it's gonna be good practice, and it's gonna be a great opportunity to see the area and hopefully find a amazing spot. I looked at it on some aerial maps last night, and there's some really good pinch points for some streams that are coming in, and it's where swamp meets hardwoods, which that transition zone is where the deer like to travel the most. I'm assuming there's going to be a ton of bedding around there, and there's going to be a nice little travel corridor in the same area. So I'm going to get in there, get boots on the ground, and check it out to see if that is indeed the case. And like I said, I'll keep walking until I find a good spot to hang a tree stand, trim it out, and put this equipment up for the very first time and see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so here's the deal. Right there is where I'm parked, and that's obviously on the side of a road. The spot that I'm interested in is right there where that yellow dot is. And as you can see, there's a stream that makes like a U and jets in toward the high ground. And I'm assuming that right in that area there's going to be a nice little funnel, a nice little pinch point. But all of that is just going to be hardwoods. But then all of that nasty stuff right there, that's swamp and bigger trees. So you can see those little clumps there. That is just, my camera sucks, and I'm sorry. Eventually I'll invest in a better one. But those clumps there, that's going to be bedding. And you can see that little clump right there. I bet you that's a nice little buck bed. But right where that dot is, that yellow dot right there, I'm assuming, like I said, there's going to be a nice little pinch point right there with bedding in the same area. So I want to check that out. I also want to check out, because this is going to be an ag field, it's public ground. Hopefully it's corn or something like that. So I want to set up somewhere, and I want to check out this whole area here to see if there's any heavily traveled trails, to see if maybe I want to set up a tree stand, an ambush point in that area, maybe a less pressured tree stand that's not going to be as close to bedding. Just maybe, again, this is all depends if I see some nice scrapes and rubs to make sure that there's a lot of buck activity in the area. But that's the general area that I want to check out. And then if I have time, I'm going to go over, because I scouted out that side of the stream where all those yellow dots are. That's all scouted out, so the south side of the stream. But I haven't seen anything on the north side of the stream yet. And I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of trails headed up to that destination food source, which is probably going to be corn or beans, but we'll see. That's a public field, and those tend to get hunted heavily here in Michigan. So I like to be back in here where nobody else is going to be. So that's the idea. That's what we're going to be scouting today. And like I said before in the previous video, I'm going to be carrying in my tree stand and climbing sticks to give those a shot today and see how that setup works out. All right, keep posted. So I've been walking for less than 20 feet and I already noticed a major issue with my setup. I'm sure you can hear that. That's the MOLLE straps, the buckles. That's those. That's way too noisy. So now I've got to figure out. Oh, that's frustrating because I haven't even got to a tree yet, and I already have noticed something wrong with my system. So I've got to either figure out how to quiet those down or just eliminate those buckles altogether. So it's going to be a noisy walk in. Just have to pretend like I don't hear it. It's good. That's what the practice is for, to identify these issues so that you're not doing it on open morning. Patience. All right, so I got out here and I found what I was looking for. The stream is right over there, and there's a nice travel corridor right straight through, and this transition line, like you can see how it lightens up over there, and that's where the swamp is. But there's a nice little transition line right along that tree line. I found a tree that I could get up into and get up in there and have some cover, because it's a nice little cluster of trees right here. And I brought my tree stand out, but it's so damn hot and buggy that I'm not going to climb that thing today, because I've already lost about 10 pounds of sweat, so won't be climbing the tree stand today. But I did find what I was looking for, and I did notice that I have an issue with my setup with those buckles. It was so loud on the way in here that I have to find a way to either dampen the sound. I don't know if maybe I put some kind of lubricant on there and maybe that'll stop whatever noise it's making. Obviously it can't be anything that stinks. I don't know, I got to do some research on those MOLLE plastic buckles, or if I just eliminate the buckles altogether and just create one solid strap, but then it's not adjustable. So, or I replace the the plastic buckles with some metal buckles. I don't know. Again, that brings the opportunity for more noise. I don't know. I've got to research it. I've got to figure it out, and I got to take care of that, because that is a deal breaker for that whole setup. But that doesn't change how my sticks are connected to the climber, which I already put a video out on. I just ran that orange bungee cord right through the tree stand and strapped those. I'll show you. So that's how it's hooked through the tree stand. Then the bungee cord just goes around the tree sticks, and then it's holding my pack as well. But that's ultra tight. Like I can lift this thing by the tree steps when they're secured on there, and it doesn't move, it doesn't jiggle, it doesn't make any noise, and then it's sufficient, and it's easy to hook it all up, and it stays in one place, and that's the most important thing. But like I said, I'm not getting up in that tree. I found what I'm looking for. The hardwoods is behind me, and there's a nice big hill up there. So at this point, it comes down to a point, and this is the very tip of the point that goes right in between, or right over down to that stream. So I know that there's going to be bedding right out there surrounding me, and with the right wind I can get up in here and potentially intercept any trees or any deer that are crossing that stream or coming up to food, because I think this is the main primary way they get up that hill, because everything else is really thick and nasty, and it's a steep ascent up the hill. So it's a good spot, probably a B+ spot, but like I said, I'm not going to get up in that tree stand and lose another 10 pounds of sweat. So mission accomplished today, except for getting up in the tree stand And now I've just got to go figure out how to fix those buckles. What makes it a good spot makes it a pain in the ass. Man, it's too hot for this. Boy, I'm a glutton for punishment, I tell you what. Work hard 5 days a week. 60 plus hours a week. And on my days off, I'm torturing myself. But it's because we love it. We love the great outdoors. We love discovering. We love adventuring. We love hunting deer. It's not fun. This part's not fun. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. And that spot wouldn't be a good spot. Alright. The noise of those buckles is overwhelming. I'm going to turn off the video because it's probably all you hear. Can't believe how loud those are. Alright. Okay, so I think I'm coming to a conclusion about this scouting in summer. One, I feel confident now in my skills with aerial maps. With, again, there's been a lot of help from the Wired to Hunt podcast and the guests they've had on there, and then YouTube videos. A real big source of knowledge has been Dan Infalt, and I discovered him on the Wired to Hunt podcast, then looked up all of his YouTube videos, watched all those, bought his DVDs about swamp bedding, hill country bedding, marsh bedding, and purchased those, watched those, basically memorized them. And now just by looking at an aerial map, I feel like I can pinpoint bedding, just any topography or terrain changes that deer are going to focus in on. Obviously, food sources, like all those things now I feel like I can identify from the use of aerial maps. So I think when it comes to summer, I'm probably just going to let it go. I enjoy being out in the woods, but really all that was accomplished today was I now put myself at risk for poison ivy again, which I always have, it feels like. Maybe some ticks jumped on me, and I found out that my MOLLE straps are the loudest part of my setup and are a liability, and I need to figure out a solution for those as soon as possible. But I could have figured that out at home. And I was going to practice with my tree stand and my tree sticks, my new XOP tree sticks, but it's just way too hot and buggy, and I can just do that at home with some shorts and a t-shirt on. So, extreme close-up. So I think that going forward, if it's above 75 degrees, 80 degrees, I'm just gonna stay out unless it's just an easy little hike. But that was too much. It probably didn't help that I'm now covered in thorns. But I encourage everybody to check out the Wired to Hunt podcast and Dan Infalt and, well, really any of those guests that Mark has on the Wired to Hunt podcast. They all give out great information, and I think I've listened to just about every episode. Took notes on several as it pertains to Michigan and public land hunting. Those are anything in the Midwest with public land hunting in there. My ears are perked up, so I encourage everybody else to jump over there and check it out because there's a lot of great information. It's basically a lifetime of knowledge packed into like 200 episodes. I don't even know if they're at 200. A lot. They're at, I know, over 100. But it's a lifetime of knowledge packed into a series of podcasts. So I encourage everybody to check that out. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.